Lean Logistics Explained. How to make job site flow actually work. In this video, I'm going to cover a really neat concept that's been burning my brain that I've tried and it works and it's beautiful on construction projects. So I'm going to explain this step by step, and if you're overwhelmed, I do not want to have that impact, but please just think about it for a minute and see where you can start tomorrow. Lean logistics. Logistics is everything. You've heard that amateurs study tactics, armchair generals study strategy, but real generals study logistics. The more that I'm digging into this, I have worked as a general super, I'm working with clients, writing the general super book with multiple industry experts and researching effectiveness and operational excellence. It's coming down to logistics, and this is what I want to paint for you. If you have an afternoon foreman huddle where you with the foreman coordinate deliveries, when, what, and where does it go every day on a visual map that then the next morning all workers can experience and know the delivery schedule and know where it goes. Super easy to do, especially in Canva, a graphic design platform that's easy enough for a superintendent or anybody to use. Then every worker has access to that on their QR code at the morning worker huddle, and everybody's in sync, everybody's aligned. If you have a nice delivery schedule where your trucks will not go rogue, you have a queuing area and you have a dedicated time with very clear visual instructions. And let's imagine that you have your office trailers and the entryway, and if you have a postage stamp site, there's other ways to implement this, but this is the template. Then we can adjust from there. Let's imagine you have your offices, and as you come around and before you get into the job site, there's a, let's just say 40 by 100. Let's just start small right now. 40 by 100 flat base or paved or somehow stabilized ground. And you can even run power to certain spots. You can even put a tent over it for weather and like have it underneath the tent, have it tapered down to where water will flow away. And let's say that the trucks come in and you have a shop forklift, not a full-blown telehandler forklift, but a shop forklift, because it's literally, you either have plates down or you have base or you have paving, and it unloads the truck. It's very, very simple. It's a whole lot more safe. And it comes and takes it off the truck and puts it into a gridded, dedicated space for that trade partner. And that trade partner literally has their materials beautifully organized and straight and their supermarket consumable supplies. Like, let's say for an electrician, it's putty pads and back boxes and screws and things like that. Whatever the case may be, you've got that all beautifully organized there. And then what happens is your little shop forklift will help you to shake things out, and any of the trash will immediately go into your trash, scrap metal, or recycling bin, and it's unpackaged right there and put into bins or pallets or racks or something that's easily transferable to the job site. So you're going to do this by zone. Let's say you're the electrical contractor and you have a whatever it is. Let's say it's 6,500 square foot zone for a commercial building, or maybe it's multifamily and you're doing 6 units, whatever the case may be. You're basically like, okay, in this bin, I need this much conduit, I need these many fasteners, I need this much couplers, I need these many back boxes, I need these putty pads, I need 2 or 3 boxes of screws, I need some rags, I need my bender, I need, whatever. Maybe you even have some of this pre-cut, okay? You say, here's my material parts, here's literally my lift drawing or my shop drawing or my work package, boom, right there in the kit. And then your little shop forklift just puts it up on an elevated platform. It has a non-skid surface on it so that you're not going to slip, but it's a solid platform, and you put it on there and you have a little flag that said this is ready and a label that says this goes to, let's say, zone 3A or something like that. Then the telehandler forklifts will then take it to the hoist or to the access point, or we'll take it so that the crane can pick it up right there off the platform. But here's the deal, things are scheduled to where it comes in and it's just in time. We don't have to stage in large groupings of material like in bulk and move it all over the place and then bring half of it back down the building. It's just, this is ready and the crew can install. Okay, so imagine that, then the bin comes down and the process repeats. Now, if you're doing this right, in the yard, you should have straps, the plastic wrap, labels, stickers, color code devices. If you have to use pallets, you can spray paint the pallet right there, and you have all of your trash cash and your consumables there, and like literally this yard is set up to be like very, very stable so that the kits go out to the field, and then when they receive it, it's on wheels, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can just focus on installing the work. And it's beautiful, and we're not tripping over each other's messes, we're not messing around, it's not a mess. And we've reduced the waste, and we have reduced motion and reduced the need for excess labor, and we've reduced labor hours. You would need water spiders there for the GC and for each trade partner, but this would be remarkable logistics. Then from there, we can actually have better signals using a Kanban method. The visual signaling for the forklift, the hoist operator, and then the crane can be improved from there. How we kit and pre-cut things can actually scale from there. If we want to actually create like little fab areas where we're doing something even more, we can fab it right there. We don't have to ship pods from anywhere else. We can start doing it right there on site. If you're saying, well, we don't have that kind of room. Okay, well, I see so many jobs that are on a postage stamp site that need an off-site staging area, but they don't, and it's a nightmare, and they roadblock the whole entire project site, or they bottleneck the whole project site, or they do have an off-site staging yard, but it's not properly utilized. What if we had power? What if we had tents? What if we had heating and cooling? What if we had extra tools there to do more advanced prefabrication? What if it was level and safe with nice bathrooms, enjoyable? And even if you have a postage stamp site, you've got just one truck with one driver that's constantly bringing things on a schedule. We can do it. It's actually very simple to schedule things like this. Logistics 2.0 is where you are queuing and only letting things into the project site when it's ready for the crew. Otherwise, we're just dumping it on the crew and wasting an incredible amount of their time. We're going to implement this at Leanbuilt, and I'm going to take video after video on it. And I've seen contractors do it, and the best of them do really well with this, but I want to issue a challenge. How can you take your logistics to 2.0? I'm going to make you a list of the things I've talked about, wish you the best of luck, and offer to help in the comments below if you ever need us. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.